For years, rumors have swirled around Prince Harry's true paternity. But what if those whispers were true? What if the biggest royal secret had been hidden in plain sight? Shocking claims suggest that DNA evidence could rewrite history, pointing not to Princess Diana, but to Camilla Parker Bowles as his real mother. How did this theory gain so much traction? And could the truth be more unbelievable than fiction? Stay tuned, because what we uncover might change everything. The unfolding rumors, how it all began. The idea that Prince Harry might not be the biological son of Princess Diana and Prince Charles isn't new. In fact, rumors questioning his true parentage have persisted for decades. But where did they start? Some claim that whispers began inside royal circles before they ever made headlines. Others point to early tabloid speculation, particularly in the 1990s, when Prince Charles's relationship with Camilla Parker Bowles became public knowledge. For years, conspiracy theorists have claimed that Diana's relationship timeline with Charles was not as clear-cut as the public was led to believe. Some even suggest that a young Camilla, who had known Charles since the early 1970s, had a deeper involvement in his life than previously admitted. Could this mean that Camilla, not Diana, was the true mother of Prince Harry? While most people dismiss these claims as outlandish, the media's obsession with royal scandals only fueled the speculation. Every odd family dynamic, every peculiar royal decision, and every seemingly cold interaction between Charles and Harry became fuel for the conspiracy fire. Then came the most compelling argument, the physical evidence. As Prince Harry grew older, people couldn't help but notice something odd. While his brother Prince William bore an undeniable resemblance to Charles and Diana, Harry looked strikingly different. His facial features, his expressions, even his red hair became focal points for speculation. Was there a missing piece of the puzzle that the royal family had kept hidden? Was it possible that the press, always eager to stir up controversy, had actually stumbled onto something real? It wasn't until a supposed DNA test surfaced years later that the world began to take these rumors seriously, and that's when things really started to spiral. But before we get to the DNA bombshell, let's take a closer look at the unusual relationship between Charles and Camilla, and why some believe their connection might hold the key to unlocking this royal mystery. Did you know about the hidden affair between Charles and Camilla? Long before Diana entered the picture, Camilla Parker Bowles and Prince Charles had a complicated history. Their romance, dating back to the early 1000s, 970s, was an open secret. The two were reportedly in love, but their relationship didn't fit the royal family's expectations. Camilla, already involved with Andrew Parker Bowles, was deemed unsuitable as a future queen, leading Charles to marry Diana instead. But did their relationship ever truly end? That's where things get interesting. Even while married to Diana, Charles maintained a close bond with Camilla. Some insiders claim he never emotionally detached from her, and the two continued to meet in secret. Diana herself famously said in a now economic interview, "There were 3 of us in this marriage." While the public assumed this affair only became serious in the later years of Diana's marriage, some speculate that Charles and Camilla never truly stopped seeing each other, even before Diana gave birth to Harry. The idea that Camilla could have given birth to Harry rather than Diana sounds extreme, but royal insiders have pointed out irregularities in Diana's pregnancy timeline. Could there have been an elaborate cover-up? Could Harry's birth date and Diana's official pregnancy records have been manipulated to fit a carefully curated royal narrative? One theory suggests that Camilla may have gone into hiding for a period during Diana's pregnancy, which could have conveniently overlapped with the timeline of Harry's birth. Another theory proposes that the royal family used misdirection, ensuring that all eyes were on Diana while Camilla secretly carried Charles's child. As absurd as it sounds, there were many gaps in the official story, leading theorists to believe that the world had only been told part of the truth. But what about Harry's appearance? What about his strikingly different features? Could genetics offer more proof? Let's examine how physical resemblances, or the lack thereof, became the biggest argument behind the claim that Camilla might be Harry's real mother. One of the most compelling reasons why people began questioning Prince Harry's paternity was his appearance. While Prince William unmistakably shares many physical traits with his father, Prince Charles, and his mother, Diana, Harry always stood out. His distinct features became a hot topic for speculation, with theories attempting to explain why he didn't resemble his brother, or even his supposed parents, as closely as expected. The most discussed detail? Harry's red hair. While many assume it comes from Diana's side, particularly her family, the Spencers, conspiracy theorists argue that Camilla also had a family history of redheads. Side-by-side comparisons of young Camilla and Harry have circulated online, with people pointing out shockingly similar facial structures. The same smile, the same nose, and even the same slightly rounded jawline. But it wasn't just about hair color. Observers noted that Harry's expressions, posture, and mannerisms bore little resemblance to Charles. While William mirrored Charles's demeanor and facial features, Harry's more relaxed, cheeky personality seemed entirely different. His wider-set eyes, slightly rounder face, and distinctive smirk led some to suggest that perhaps he had inherited traits from someone outside the officially accepted royal bloodline. And then there's Camilla's son, Tom Parker Bowles. Some online theorists even pointed out that Harry bears a strong resemblance to Tom, further fueling speculation that they might be half-brothers rather than simply acquainted through their parents' affair. Critics dismiss these claims, arguing that family genetics can vary significantly and resemblances are not always immediate. After all, Diana's father, Earl Spencer, also had reddish hair, which could explain Harry's distinct look. But to those already suspicious, these uncanny similarities between Harry and Camilla only added more fuel to the fire. Of course, resemblance alone isn't proof of anything. That's why many turned their attention to something more concrete: timelines. Could the official records of Diana's pregnancy and Harry's birth hold inconsistencies that point to a royal cover-up? But what about the strange timing of Harry's birth? If Prince Harry were truly the biological child of Camilla Parker Bowles, the biggest issue would be his birth timeline. Diana officially announced her pregnancy in November 1983, and Harry was born on September 15, 1984. On the surface, it all seemed normal. But those who believe in the conspiracy argue that certain dates don't quite add up. To fully understand the claim, we have to look at when Charles and Camilla were rumored to have been in close contact. While the public assumes their affair reignited in the late 1980s, some sources suggest it may have never actually ended. Even after Charles's marriage to Diana, theorists argue that if Charles and Camilla were still seeing each other privately in 1983, there could have been an opportunity for a secret pregnancy. But the biggest challenge was hiding it. Diana's pregnancy announcement conveniently came at a time when media attention on the royal family was at its peak, creating a perfect distraction for any potential rumors. Adding to the speculation, some claim there were inconsistencies in Diana's pregnancy timeline. Was she truly as far along as the official records stated? Could she have been forced to adjust details to align with the royal narrative? Even more suspicious is the fact that Diana reportedly suffered from extreme morning sickness early on. But was it because she was truly pregnant? Or was there something else happening behind the scenes? While medical records prove Diana carried and delivered Harry, conspiracy theorists suggest the possibility of an elaborate royal scheme, one that may have involved surrogacy, deception, or outright manipulation of information. Some even claim that a midwife who assisted with Harry's birth went silent years later, as though sworn to secrecy. With the timeline already raising eyebrows, many turn to royal insiders, people who might have known the truth but were forced to keep quiet. Could their testimonies hold the key to unlocking this mystery? Royal biographers and insiders spill secrets. Over the years, royal biographers, journalists, and former palace staff have made shocking claims about the inner workings of the royal family. Some of these statements seem to support the idea that Prince Harry's parentage was a topic of private discussion behind closed doors. One of the most well-known royal biographers, Penny Junor, has extensively covered the relationship between Charles and Camilla. According to her, their bond never truly ended, even when Charles was married to Diana. She even wrote that Camilla was always Charles's true love, a sentiment that made people wonder, was it possible their connection resulted in a child? Even more intriguing is a claim made by Paul Burrell, Princess Diana's former butler. While Burrell never directly stated that Harry wasn't Diana's son, he did hint that Diana had deep concerns about her place in the royal family. Some took this as a subtle nod that she might have been pressured into going along with a pre-planned narrative, especially when it came to Harry's birth. Another former royal staffer, Ken Worf, Diana's former bodyguard, once commented on the rumors, saying that while many conspiracy theories are ridiculous, the royal family does have its secrets. Statements like this only added more mystery to the situation. But perhaps the biggest fuel to the fire came from an alleged DNA test that was never publicly confirmed. Some reports claim that a secret paternity test was conducted, and the results weren't what the royal family expected. If true, why was this information buried? The deeper we dive into this mystery, the more questions emerge. Could the DNA test results truly confirm the theory, and if so, what would it mean for the monarchy? Or was it all just a fabrication meant to shake the royal institution? One thing is certain, the royal family has always been extremely careful with what the public knows. Could they have manipulated the media to cover up the truth? Media manipulation. How the palace controlled the story. The British royal family has always been meticulously careful about its public image. For centuries, the monarchy has mastered the art of controlling narratives, burying scandals, and keeping the press in check. But when it comes to Prince Harry's paternity rumors, was there an intentional effort to manipulate the media? Many royal watchers believe so. When tabloids first hinted at doubts about Harry's parentage, the palace's response was swift. Instead of directly addressing the rumors, they used a well-known PR tactic: distract and redirect. One clear example of this was Diana's personal life. At the time, the press was more interested in her alleged affairs, particularly with James Hewitt, a former cavalry officer. The palace seemed to lean into these rumors, allowing the media to focus on Hewitt rather than the far more controversial suggestion that Harry's real mother could be Camilla. Royal insiders also claim that any journalists who pushed too hard on the Harry-Camilla theory found themselves blacklisted from palace events, losing access to key sources. This wouldn't be the first time the monarchy used its influence to silence a scandal before it could grow. But perhaps the most telling example of media manipulation came when DNA testing rumors surfaced. Some reports claimed that in the early 2000s, a secret DNA test was conducted on Harry, and the results were never released to the public. Strangely, not a single major newspaper dug deeper into this claim, almost as if the story had been buried before it could gain traction. The palace's silence was loud. If there was truly nothing to hide, why not address the speculation head-on? Instead, their strategy was to act as though the rumors never existed. But behind closed doors, some royal family members were allegedly questioning things too. If this theory held any truth, wouldn't we see subtle signs within the royal family itself? Surprisingly, many believe there were clues in the way Prince Harry was treated compared to Prince William. Unusual royal family behavior toward Harry. The royal family has always followed strict traditions, and over the years, subtle differences in how Prince Harry was treated compared to his brother Prince William became noticeable. While some chalk this up to William's role as the future king, others argue that Harry was never truly seen as part of the family in the same way. For starters, let's talk about Charles' behavior toward Harry. Unlike his warm interactions with William, Charles often appeared distant, reserved, and even awkward around his second son. In public events, Charles would proudly guide William, discussing royal duties and future responsibilities, but with Harry, there was always a sense of detachment. Some body language experts even suggested that Charles lacked the same emotional connection with Harry, that he had with William. Then there's Camilla's unusual relationship with Harry. Despite eventually marrying Charles, Camilla never seemed particularly maternal toward him. If the rumors were true and she was secretly his biological mother, wouldn't there have been at least some small signs of favoritism? Instead, their interactions were formal and distant, leading some to speculate that the royal family was careful to keep their distance, to avoid drawing suspicion. There were also unspoken differences in how Harry was raised. While William was carefully groomed for royal duties, Harry was treated as the spare, often left in the shadows. Some believe this wasn't just because of his role in the monarchy, but because his connection to the royal bloodline was questionable. Another curious detail: Harry was sent to military service while William was not. Some theorists argue that this could have been a way for the royal family to subtly push him away from the core of royal affairs. While none of this is hard evidence, it adds to the growing list of strange inconsistencies surrounding Harry's role within the royal family. But what about the world outside the palace walls? How did the public react as these rumors continued to spread? Public reaction and wild speculation. As rumors of Harry's paternity spread, public opinion was sharply divided. On one side, royal supporters dismissed the claims as ridiculous conspiracy theories. On the other, skeptics insisted that there were too many coincidences to ignore. Social media played a massive role in keeping these theories alive. Thousands of online sleuths analyzed old photographs, studied body language, and created side-by-side comparisons of Harry, Camilla, and Charles. Some even pointed out similarities between Harry and Camilla's son, Tom Parker Bowles, fueling speculation that they were actually half-brothers. The speculation didn't stop at appearances. People also examined how the palace handled Harry's public life. Was he being gradually distanced from the monarchy because of some hidden truth? His decision to step back from royal duties in 2020 alongside Meghan Markle only fanned the flames. Even journalists who typically avoided conspiracy theories began questioning the palace's silence. Why had no official statement ever been made to directly disprove the rumors? Why was the focus always shifted elsewhere whenever Harry's paternity came into question? The more the public questioned, the less the royal family responded. But what would have happened if the rumors were true? If Harry was not Diana's son, how would it have changed the line of succession, royal inheritance, and the very foundation of the monarchy? The explosive aftermath. What if it were true? If Prince Harry were proven not to be Diana's son, the impact would be catastrophic, not just for Harry but for the entire royal family. First, Harry's royal titles would be in question. As a direct descendant of Charles, Harry holds the title of Duke of Sussex. But if the DNA results disproved his lineage, his place in the royal hierarchy would crumble. He would no longer be considered a legitimate prince, potentially losing any remaining royal privileges. Next, the line of succession would face chaos. Even though Harry is not in line for the throne, any child of Charles is still technically a royal. If Harry were suddenly ruled out, his children, Archie and Lilibet, would no longer have any claim to royal titles. And then there's the damage to the monarchy itself. The royal family has spent centuries projecting an image of stability, tradition, and legitimacy. If it were revealed that one of its most well-known figures had been part of a deception, the fallout could shake public trust in the institution. It would also raise serious questions about the ethics of the monarchy. How far would the royal family go to control the truth? How many other secrets have been buried? But in the end, despite all the theories, speculation, and alleged evidence, the truth remains simple. The final verdict, what the real evidence shows. When we strip away the speculation, the rumors, and the wild theories, what are we left with? Cold, hard fact. Every official document, including birth records and hospital records, confirms that Diana was indeed Harry's mother. The timelines, despite conspiracy theories, align with reality. There is no legitimate DNA evidence proving that Harry is not Charles and Diana's son. So why do these rumors persist? The simple answer is that people love a mystery. The British royal family is surrounded by secrecy, making it the perfect breeding ground for conspiracy theories. But just because a theory is entertaining doesn't mean it's true, and in this case, the truth is far simpler than the legend. The shocking truth revealed. After diving deep into the theories, rumors, and so-called evidence, one thing is clear. Prince Harry is, and always has been, the biological son of Princess Diana and Prince Charles. Despite decades of speculation, no real evidence has ever surfaced to prove otherwise. But the real question is, why do these rumors continue to thrive? The answer lies in the mystique of the British royal family. Royals are seen as untouchable, their lives carefully managed behind palace walls. Because the public only sees what the monarchy allows them to see, mystery and speculation fill the gaps. The idea that Harry might secretly be Camilla's son is fascinating because it challenges the monarchy's most fundamental principle, legitimacy. If Harry had been born outside of Diana's pregnancy, it would mean a massive royal cover-up, something straight out of a Hollywood thriller. And let's be honest, people love a good scandal. The media also plays a significant role in keeping these conspiracy theories alive. Every time Harry acts differently from his family, distances himself from royal duties, or expresses resentment toward his past, the speculation resurfaces. Even his move to step back from royal life in 2020 with Meghan Markle was seen by some as an attempt to escape a family that had always treated him differently. But in reality, these rumors serve only as entertainment rather than fact. The truth is simple. Harry is Charles and Diana's son. The obsession with proving otherwise only proves one thing: the world will always be fascinated by royal secrets, even the ones that never existed. But what do you think? Do you believe the official story? Or do you think there's still something the palace isn't telling us? Let us know in the comments below.